Cue the new music. It's gonna be a little different. We're gonna try some new music. There is a impulse in my mind to branch out a bit from, not out of boredom, but out of an expanding interest of attempting to do more with what I'm doing, however, with even less time. So it's a bit of a frustration. And here I am. We will do our best. Okay, so yeah, dry January made it a whole day, and it's a bit of an achievement. We're moving on. Let's turn off this garbage. That can go away. We can turn off these. Just keep it like that, maybe. But we are working on Zelda, so here we are. Moblin Madness. We are barely started on what may be the most complex piece. I honestly hope it is the most complex piece I ever work on in my whole life. But it can be cool. We're gonna try it. Alright, so let's dig in. Okay, let me get reoriented. Okay, layers are here. Don't like that. Because we got a lot of those. So the Harry Potter music specifically is a little bit pulled up due to the, a bit of the fantasy arts. I guess it's a modern fantasy, which is different, but it is also, it's like magical. I think the aesthetic is right. And I was literally at Universal Studios yesterday with my wife and kids and meeting. It's I talk about this a lot, but it's a great thing when you meet other parents that you get along with. Well, like great. When you meet friends as an adult, if you're young, you won't understand because you're just forced to make friends all the time because you're forced into all these things. As an adult, you have to go out of your way to make friends, and that's not necessarily easy at all. So I'm grateful for my friendships that I've developed by sending my kids to school with where they meet other cool kids, and it turns out their parents are cool. That's just an awesome thing. Because there's, you'll meet parents out there that aren't cool. It's like, wow, I didn't realize, feel sorry for your kids. Here we go. Digging on in. Okay, so I guess to recap, let's click away. This is our piece. We're adding blue light, and the way I work is generally foreground to background with the dimmest light that I can account for coming from behind camera. Generally, it's a bit of a Groundhog Day situation because it's always ambient blue light. I promise one day I won't be formulaic, but in this case, my justification is there's a canopy opening in the skyline of the trees behind camera, letting in blue light. That's what's illuminating the scene. So we're accounting for that because it will be the dimmest source of light that will affect everything. And it's important to get it out of the way. We've already done all these bokoblins. Yeah. And now we did the Moblin here, main Moblin guy. He looks good. We gotta hit up all the rest of it. We'll go as far as we can, and if tonight is a chill stream, then all the better. But lurkers are welcome. Anybody can hang out. And one day I'd like to think that people are drawing alongside me or working on their own projects. There we go. The old Wacom Classic. I don't even know if they make these anymore. If there are any digital artists listening right now, I have an important sage piece of advice to give you. If you are changing your nibs more than twice a year, you are definitely pushing way too hard on your it's an indication that you're absolutely, you need to adjust something in your settings. You should not be pushing harder than you would with the softest pencil that you could buy in the store. And if you are, adjust something, because you're gonna mess something up over time. All right, here we go. Down here. Okay. So we calculate the Here we go. All these different tabs I don't use, never will. All right. I do like a bigger. There we go. Now it's educational. Okay, eyedropper tool. Select this. Adding blue light. See these RGB sliders. Add just a token amount of value to each. Becomes the same color but brighter, and then add about the same, I'll call it a tab's worth, like a tab, like you hit tab on your keyboard and it just goes like 5 spaces worth. There you go. That's that color plus blue light wherever I selected it. That's that. On to the next section. What would be next? You know, there's a lot of foreground over here. See these guys? This piece looks good enough to be big enough to be a banner. You mean like a Twitch banner? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming back. I recognize you from the other day. Was it like yesterday? I can't remember. It's not, these aren't particularly high resolution. Let me check this. Oh, God. 1920 by 1080. So that's 2K. But hey, I'm a millennial, huh? So it's okay. Great to see you too. I really like the whole art piece you were making here. This will be a so this will be a thing that, because you're coming in at the early stages, and this will be a thing that you're like, gosh, this will just take forever. So then you'll like take 2 weeks, and you'll check in later, and I'll be done, because while it does take time, it doesn't take more than. It takes 10 to 15 good streams to knock out even a big piece like this. And I hope this is no exception. This could be a 20 streamer, I gotta be honest. But now I'm reminded I need to do iterative saving, because that allows it to do different stages of the process. If you're on Tumblr, you should follow me. Tumblr is a wonderful new social media that I'm cool with, but that I'm not experienced with. And it was funny because yesterday I was at Universal Studios. That's where we're playing Harry Potter music, because I was at the Harry Potter thing in Los Angeles yesterday. And we were experiencing like the light show, the wintry light show that they do on the castle. It was cool. It was actually extremely cool because I saw it with my daughter. And they were playing the music, and I didn't even know they did it because I barely ever go to Universal at night, so it was neat to do it. And I was hearing the music, and I was like, yeah, this is cool music. This, it's no Lord of the Rings soundtrack, but it's a all right, yeah, hang out. It's no big deal. The process will feel like it's boring for a little bit, but where it is boring, I get gabby, and then I dish about all the crazy drama going on in my life. Not that I have any these days, but. Right, here I'm talking about where I normally move front to back. And so all this stuff has my attraction, but actually this is more frontal than stuff happening even here with Link. These guys falling. And these spikes. It's like coloring spikes. Not necessarily the coolest thing in the world, but we gotta do it eventually. I'm always surprised to see how many tools and the sort of complexity of digital art programs can be made respect for your craft. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I have to fight every day to make this shit work. Trying to select the sort of bright part of these spikes. This is what I do in my day job, where people will... I'll get a script that says, like, they encounter a forested encampment. And, like, I'm the guy that looks at that and say, like, well, they didn't say there couldn't be cavernous openings into abysmal depths beneath the platforms of the, of the whatevers. And in those abysmal depths, there could be, evil creatures lurking. There could be pits full of spikes and all sorts of stuff. And I'm the guy that takes those liberties and draws them in and makes them, they're like, yeah, that's what I saw too. And I'm like, yeah, fuck right, you did. Oop, what'd I do? No, what'd I do? Yeah, reselect. No, okay, good. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you gotta love the bokoblins for being like, yeah, this will keep us safe, and then meanwhile they like fall to their deaths on the same spikes they create. It makes perfect sense. All right, add. So this is like a great example. Is I have no idea what this color is. I colored it, and I don't know what it is, and yeah, because it's gray. But to me, I see a ton of color in it, which is weird. But it's because it's situated amongst all these other colors, and my eyes are like attenuated to it. So like even gray like leaps with color when it's nestled in a sandwich of colorful things sometimes. Nonetheless, and you probably can't see, but these 3 dots, your computer monitor and all electronic devices these days that use whatever, the LCD or OLED screens or LEDs or whatever, microscopically speaking, there's tiny camera and mic out of sync. I wouldn't be surprised. Autocorrect. Oh, I'm not surprised by that because there is a delay on the OBS. What can I do about that? Maybe I should let me try something instead of freaking out and like fucking everything up. Pardon my French. I'm going to be a refresh. Let's see if that works. You did not notice. Reconnect to device. Yes, that's much better. Here, is that better? Maybe. Yes, it's better. Yes, we solved it. Okay, because I saw myself being like a little bit. I'm like, am I drunk? And maybe a little, but also there is a fun reality to it. That's what they call scuff, right? That's the scuff. Okay, I was about to say that the thanks for interrupting with the actually good information. No, and I want to know that because it like affects the whatever, the VODs or the dub that happens later. Okay, so the tiny the light emitting diodes, RGB, like some are dedicated to red, green, and blue, and they will emit different intensities of brightness along those spectrums. Red, green, and blue, you add them all together and they create a bright white light. And then everything in between can be made up you can have 256 increments of red, 256 increments of green, 256 increments of blue, which means that on this slider, you can get all the colors that you would ever see on a computer monitor or your cell phone, for instance. And that's the medium we're working in. You tag your screen as scuffed. That's funny. That makes sense. I should do this. I will do this moving forward. And this is still something that I'm learning, but the process of simply relying on the sliders and thinking of the sliders not as colors but as light is the process that I'm using to color all these pieces, and it's really revolutionized the way that I think of it, and it needs to be popularized. And there are artists out there who are because I've looked this up on YouTube, and people do use RGB sliders, but they're not using them the way that I do, where they're thinking of it. They're thinking of it in terms of like, yeah, you can add light this way, but they're really adding light on top of light, where they need to be actually starting with like shadow and starting much darker. Sort of, well, no one needs to do anything, but this is where I'm learning a lot, so I'm trying to keep it up. So trying again. Okay, so this is sort of, and it's also like it's not necessarily a foolproof process. You can, or it's a little bit robust, so it's not something where it's like I worry about it too much if I don't get things perfectly correct. It's actually really robust. Okay, so here we go. Oh, come on. Where's the... I can't reselect? God damn it. I got all messed up. Okay, here we go. Going back. Almost. Oh, it's already selected? So what's happening here? So I did have it. Okay. Weird. Okay, that's weird. I was just drawing on the wrong layer, I guess. Yeah, all right. Here. Now, drawing it the right way. Adding a little bit of blue light to this, and this doesn't look right because it's juxtaposed along all these other tones and values that are not matching it. Unlike up here, they start to work together. Down here, they're in isolation, but it's only temporary. We'll make that the goal for tonight, is sort of get this big section lit with some blue light. And I always try to start with the sort of loose airbrush. You hear the song playing. I consider Harry Potter a Christmas movie. I disagree. Well, why do you disagree? I'm not sure. So, full disclosure, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. But fun fact about me is when I was in 4th grade, I got glasses. And they were circular glasses. And I was a perfect Harry Potter. Only probably 12 years too early. So... a lot of people like to push Die Hard as their favorite Christmas movie. My favorite Christmas movie is I mean, every Christmas I watch Elf and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation probably 3 times. I like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because of the just the sort of insane, manic dad trying to, I don't know, honor his family and give his children what he perceives he received as a kid, whether or not there was any truth to it. I love Elf. not a perfect, like, it's like not a perfect film, as if such a thing ever existed, but the there's so many funny things, and my kids watch it with us, and we enjoy it. It's a fun. It's like son of a nutcracker, you know. So it's the same formula, adding light, no matter where it is or what color it is. That's why this works for me, is because I can't see the colors as well as I should. But the formula remains the same, so I can trust the arithmetic of the formula, and I don't have to rely on whether my eyes are seeing anything correctly. So this should be the color. It feels a little, it looks very involved, epic. It is a bit epic. Hi, welcome to the chat. Polyhedral Cathedral. That's interesting. What's your favorite cathedral? Ooh, put on the spot. Boom. You got served. What's your favorite cathedral? This better not just be repeating. Oh, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's just going to repeat the same songs 1,000 times. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Are you a Zelda fan? Anyway, no one has to respond to my awkward questioning, but the this does seem very blue. Did I do this right? Well, let's just trust it. Sagrada Familia Cathedral. All right. It has to be Christchurch Cathedral in Dublin. Thank you very much. But, you know, I'm biased. I'm biased. Somewhere I have a sketch of it. As I look behind in my piles of, like, sketchbooks sandwiched in between junk. Alright, that looks good for those spikes. Oh, except down here. All these. Okay, that's not. Oh, what is. Wait a second. Oh, because I don't have this activated. Yeah, that's okay. On to the next thing. This bridge needs love right here. And then we get to these bokoblins that are falling. So, one thing I did was when I colored it, this might be fun to see if anybody's actually paying attention. This was the original sketch that I did. All this was done live stream, but this one was done almost a year ago. So you can see a lot of the theme of it still remains. This main guy. When I originally drew it, I had just had one Moblin attacking Link, and then I wanted to add complexity to it, so I zoomed out, added space around the composition, added other guys in, and I was like, let's go further, and then I just made it crazy. In some ways I regret it, but now I don't, because in its full complexity, we eventually got a super complex scene that, all as a last minute inspiration, I injected Zelda into it. So she's over here adding a kind of, it's almost like a Indiana Jonesy parody of the situation. And now Link barely features at all. It's sort of something I'll have to rectify, but here, this broken up bridge. Yeah, you can tell I got lazy because they have the same name when they're different. That's not good. All right. Despite it all. Okay. The shield losses reflective glare. Well, that's going to come later. That's a highlight that has to come later in the process, at least the way I do things. This is not a coloring process that pays off like 1-to-1 in the beginning. The marks that I make are not the marks that will be the finals. That has to develop over time, like what's an appropriate recipe? Let's just say it grows and develops complexity, like a fine wine, or what about a loaf of bread that has to transform? It rises and then collapses, or like a insect that goes through its pupae stage and then spins a chrysalis and then becomes a beautiful butterfly. The focal point is something that is honed at the end, but this was the design of the idea. And here I thought that metamorphosis, but like all metamorphosis, we have to make a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is time and pain, and mostly time. But if we don't do it, then we die. So that's no good. All right, here we go. For the third time, I'm going to select this. All right, it's done now. That. Turn that off. Find this layer. Good. Okay, that all still works. Now, so we select the color. And it's like the same color. We just add various tabs of each color and then an extra tab of blue. And you can see it's sort of a purpley. So I guess like a neutral wood color, when you add blue, it gets brighter and goes more purpley. That's what happened. That's color for you. At least the way I'm doing it. Yeah, the guy attempting to fly. That has to be something of an anime trope. If not a, like, Wile E. Coyote-ish type of trope. Pace extra. I feel like, it can't be for sure. I don't know. There's probably, I'm sure everybody's an anime fan these days. I'm like an old school anime fan, and then I blinked and now there's all these new animes and I don't know anything anymore. But I remember watching Castle of Cagliostro, the Miyazaki Lupin III film, when I was, whatever, 16. Like that wasn't like a, I'd be like, guys, you gotta watch these movies, and they'd be like, what's with these Japanese films? Like, how come their mouths don't move with the words? And I was like, that's not the point. You you know, whatever. By the time Princess Mononoke came out, like, everybody was converted, so that was good. But then they were mainstream, and I was like, everybody's into it. I can't be into it if everybody else is into it. Now there's all this cool stuff. Okay, so we've got some blue light. Essentially just a soft purple gradient has been applied. I mean, wait, now that I'm thinking about it, I did that all wrong. It shouldn't have... Let me go back. I did this all wrong. All wrong. Go back, go back. I can't go back far enough. This is painful. Well, it's okay. But the reason you can't just apply it evenly to everything the same way is because some of these objects are in space. I'm a little out of it, so I'm like not doing the best job I possibly could. Not that anything bad happened today. It's just sort of like, sort of got distracted and on autopilot with this stuff. But you see how, okay, you see how this sort of pointed towards camera? That means the underside, like this side of it is actually not pointed towards the sky. It's pointed towards the ground. So it shouldn't be catching as much blue light as it is. This other stuff where it's pointed away from camera means it is angled in a way where it will catch skylight. So that's okay. Some of this stuff is ambiguous and it's okay, but I can't be just applying it willy-nilly. It's not like a blanket treatment to everything. It has to, you have to think about the forms. Now, none of it is going to matter. So it's like, I'm not going to, like, it would matter if I did it to everything and it would all just be flat and it would suck. So you have to be tricky or logical about this stuff. Let me made a small mistake where things don't matter, and I'll fix it later. But the it's a lot of forethought. Everybody can. This is a go to sleep, listening to me sort of drivel on about whatever. But the this stream is sleep friendly. I have to remember not to shout because everybody's asleep in my house right now too. Here where the tops of these spikes are, the tops of these spikes, because they're conical, are all going to catch the light. So that is all fine, but here, I'm going to fix some of these things. Because it can't catch that much light. Not like this. Okay. The rest are okay. Let's see here. Let's color this guy. See how this works out. Select his colorful skin. Which Zelda game is this one from, or based on? Hopefully one of the glider or grappling hook. This is a, I hate to out myself, but I did not play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. The last one I played was Twilight Princess, and I loved it. And I'm sure I beat the game, but I don't remember much of it. It's I used to be a big pothead, and I probably was like the worst of it back then, and like it really made the video games cool at the time, but I don't remember what happened in the game. I just remember that I beat it because I remember the ending, but I don't remember. It's a sad thing, but at least I didn't have kids back then, so it's not that bad. Just spoiling my own memory of my playing video game days. Let that go. You know, it's funny because now I can go back and play it again, and it'll be a whole new game. Right? So here I've added light, and I have to remember to think, like, where is the light actually catching? If it's coming from behind camera, it can't just be everywhere. But luckily, these bokoblins, despite being sort of, I don't want to call them squat. They're not necessarily squat. They're scrappy. They've got this weird, like, thickness. You know what I mean? They're like they've got little butts on them and stuff like that. This was a subject of an earlier stream a while back when I was designing these guys. So imagining if behind camera there was a dim blue light sort of illuminating the scene, where might that catch? And I'm only applying this color to the portions of their bodies where this particular, the majority color that they have, which is that sort of, like, you might consider the, I don't know what their color is, but not their accent color, because they've all got these discolored spots, you know, or accents, or like freckles. I'm trying to honor that by not just giving them all just one color, right? Complex little creatures. Even as I send them to their death, I want them to feel represented. It's a little bit like nostalgia. Hey, Nuzokara. It's been actually a little while, right? Welcome. Comes up enough, but my favorite Zelda game is the Link to the Past / Ocarina of Time era. But I've been a Zelda fan since the very beginning. Okay, now I'm going to apply some blue light to these little. Darn it! How can I do this? Somewhat problematic. The program that I use, which is Painter, just doesn't have a very good color grabbing system. Just by the nature of its poorly programmed. Man. Oh, one more try. Alright, I'll take that. Okay, we gotta do better than repeating Harry Potter music just on repeat. Let's see here. There was a kind of a cool Legend of Zelda Vaporwave that I didn't really get into too much because that's like the wrong aesthetic, but let's go back to the Lord of the Rings lo-fi. Because at least that only repeats every 30 minutes instead of every 15 minutes. How was the holidays, Max? It was good. The Christmas was good. The New Year's was good. New Year's Day was also good, and that's extremely important. That's my wife's birthday. So I had to be attentive. New Year's Day is a day that... So I can't get so wasted on New Year's Eve that I can't be super husband and super dad on New Year's Day. That's the tricky part. I do my best. Do my best to not cause more ruckus than I normally would. I feel obliged to pull up there are just these great I don't know what I'd do with for these streams if not for these fellow travelers, if you'll pardon the expression, the people putting together wonderful lo-fi compositions of, you know, famous tracks that we all love but can't stream because they'll get taken down, and then these wonderful souls, knowing that they can't monetize the way they deserve to be, same way we do with fan art, sort of make efforts to help each other out, put together time to do something for the love of it. It's nice. Yeah. So, chill astronaut, we salute you. Okay, let's see here. And this is like, I don't love the way this, like if you look in here, there's all these jaggy little crusty bits. But what's fun is it will all just fade away in the totality of everything as it comes together. It's almost like a meditation, or like a yoga practice where you do it. It's like you can do it and you can suck at it, and you'll fall or you'll, you know, do something embarrassing or whatever. But like, the point of it is that you can't do it perfectly, but you do it anyway, right? It's just about trying your best, wherever that is, you know. It's not about getting it perfect, and it's frustrating, but that's part of it too, you know. Okay, then there's these other guys. Look at this poor guy. If you guys can even make him out, he is I feel like this guy was like, he was like the leader, but he's gonna be the first to go. Not the leader, but like he's like way more buff. Hey Sky Shadow, how you doing? I'm doing good. How you been? Wait. Huh? What is this? Huh? My ex-husband kicked the bucket today? Is that bad? That's bad. That sounds terrible. I did not see that earlier. Well, welcome to Rivendell. My condolences, I guess. That's rough. Well, Picked it today. This is an interesting day. Ex's husband, dude, was Jeff Baina. Never met the guy. No, wait a second. Okay. I was just curious about that. I was like, interesting. I don't know why I was thinking about that, because of course it was in the news. So your ex was Aubrey Plaza? Is that exactly right? You don't have to disclose. It's okay. We'll put the pieces together. Randomly made the news. Interesting. Well, are we happy? I mean, I'm happy if you're happy. I'm sad if you're sad. No, I didn't know the guy. What's that Mark Twain quote? I've never wished death upon anyone, but I've read some obituaries with great enthusiasm, or something like that. I guess it all depends. There we go. All right, well. Sky, you let us know if there's more to say, but otherwise it's, we hope you're doing all right. Okay. When I looked at the news, they were short on, like, specifics. So I don't know what to think. Hopefully no foul play, right? Okay, so same deal. Even though this is a different color than this, we do, well, yeah, actually specifically because the color of this guy's main coat is different than this guy's main coat, so we just have to recalculate everything. But it's the same calculation. And just do a little tab in, plus another tab of blue. And that should be it. There we go. And our bodies are sort of like interlocking chains, or the comic book artist Jim Lee would describe them as footballs, which I think is apt. Okay, you're fine. I mean, that's really what the question is. Are you okay? If you're okay, then we're okay. We don't want to... But I get that it's odd. That's super odd, right? Yeah, that feels like... like somehow you should have an opinion about that. So, but you're not sure if it's that clear, right? We dig it. All right, here's so this guy, he's like the Baromir, right? Of the group. And I didn't read the books, of course, but it's a reference then to the movies and Sean Bean's character, where he is sort of insistent upon being a leader. But there's a greater hero out there, and it's Link. Any fans of the movie Ronin out there? Speaking of Sean Bean, not 47 Ronin. It's a little bit of a Robert De Niro spy thriller, Ronin, and it's poorly named for what it is, although it isn't really poorly named. It's a really I'm gonna make a conspiracy theory about this movie one day. I just need to do more research because can I look it up a little bit so we're not all just grasping at whatever's. I've got so many frickin' browser tabs open. How do I fix my life like that? Okay. Ronin, Robert De Niro. There we go. So this is the film. Ronin. It's got, what is it? It's not Luc Besson. It's like a Renee something. And then he's like ex-CIA. The cool part of this film is that they don't tell you what it's about. And here's Sean Bean, like a younger Sean Bean. Right here. See here? There's Boromir. But like, when did this movie come out? I don't know. This scene is like one of my all-time favorite scenes in like cinema and movies and stuff like that. It's fucking crazy. The movie is like, it's like a masterclass. And what's weird to me is like I looked into this. I didn't like spend days poring over like the conspiracy of it or whatever. But like the guys who made this film, like it won a bunch of awards. Like everybody loved it. It was absolutely critically acclaimed. It was like the what was it? Like that, you know, that movie The Usual Suspects. Like that did amazing and, you know, revitalized careers and sparked careers and stuff like that. Ronin, like these directors should have like catapulted, and yet like because they wrote, directed, and shot the thing themselves, they should have been like the Christopher Nolan before Christopher Nolan, and yet they, as far as I can tell, did nothing afterward. And there are so many films like that. Like it doesn't understand. Like I don't understand that. The another movie like that is the like Leaving Las Vegas. It was like written and directed by like one guy, and won like swept the Academy or whatever. Everybody knew it was like the best movie of the year, and it won for everything. And then the guy did nothing after that. It's like, you haven't even heard of it. I mean, it's, you know, I'm old, so for me, these things are like still living rent free in my head. It's okay if you guys haven't heard of it, but for me, it's like a master class in sort of visual storytelling, even if the story doesn't necessarily make sense objectively. There are it's not that it's like confusing. It's not like a confusing film. It's like really straightforward basically, but it's it's just sort of like a great test case. It's a great example of how to hook an audience with like the illusion of something, or how to show but don't tell. That's the best way to say it. You know, they say that in like writing classes. Show but don't tell. Show the story, but don't tell it. Because they're all ex-CIA, basically, but not ex-CIA. They're like, what's the French version of the CIA? What's the Swiss version of the CIA? What's the Russian version of the CIA? What's the Irish version of the CIA? And they're all ex. And so now they're all playing their own game. No one is allowed to know. I mean, they would never blow their own cover. They've been so deep into their own cover as special agents that they will reveal almost nothing about themselves, and what they do reveal is a lie. So not only do you like wonder so much about what's going on, but whatever they say is like true about themselves. It's like, they're like, well, that's got to be a lie. Except is it? You know. Baby face tonight. I have to shave now because I'm so gray in my beard. Welcome to Boxer, my in real life brother. It's almost midnight. Yeah, everybody go to bed. Nobody needs to hang out watching me. Boxer's gonna be right back. He's gonna be right back. Yeah, everybody pass out. That's fine. I appreciate this support, but this is not a like, guys, I need you to stay up with me so I finish my project. You can leave me on and just go to sleep, or just turn me off. It's no big deal. The way it is I can't really do these streams during the day, like during normal times. It's like not possible. I have to wait for everyone in my family to go to sleep, basically. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Yeah, everybody sleep well. No, not the Frank Miller Ronin comic. That one sucks. Well, I don't know if it sucks, but it's not as good as this one. The Robert De Niro. And only because it came up earlier in chat, this is a Christmas film. And I know this is a Christmas film because there's like 5 seconds in the middle of the film. They're in like an Italian city, and there's a Santa Claus in the background distributing gifts to a bunch of children, and then they quickly pan away and they do more spy stuff. It's a Christmas film. Ronin's a Christmas film. That's my contribution to the real. I should watch this later. I wonder if anybody else notices. Is Ronin a Christmas film? Christmas movie? Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Ronin, still the best Christmas movie. I'm not the only one who thought of this. Christmas creeps. I'm not wrong. Ronin is a Christmas movie. Yes, it is. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. Yes. I'm a genius. All right. All right. I wonder what what's the message there? What does that mean, Ronin being a Christmas film? Is it just like a little bit of fun contrast? Because it's deliberate, obviously. It's not an accident that there's Santa Claus. Maybe it's sort of... I guess my quick interpretation is that like it just sort of shows that the characters have no families or anybody that cares about them during the holidays. It's like while everybody else is focused on Christmas and themselves, and it's like the bubble we all live in during the holidays, for them, is a completely different experience. It's just another day that they kill people and, you know, sabotage governments and do spy intrigue. Okay. Turn this on. Color this guy. I'm not going to be doing this too much longer. I'll go to like another 15 minutes because I also need sleep. And let me see here. We went an hour. It's not a incredibly arduous. This isn't like climbing Mount Everest where you have to do it all at once. We break this up into chunks. This is how it goes. What's this color? Okay, so this has a different color relationship. It's subtle, but it's different. Just tab in a little more light, plus blue. All I have to do is maybe an hour and change every day, and even the most complex piece will bend and fall in time.
Gifted to the race of men who, above all else, desire power.
I'd said it before, and I keep coming back to it, how the proliferation of AI among my clients has been sort of I feel like Elrond, sort of witnessing the turn of man becoming enslaved by the power that they thought they could control. But ultimately succumbing. And I'm like, what can I do? I will ride forth and summon the Rohirrim or something. I don't know. It makes me a little sad for a lot of my clients. They sort of are in this thing, and I watched it happen with the NFTs too. They just saw here's a trend, here's a chance to make money by doing nothing, and riding up sort of popular wave. Couldn't see it for themselves. Is that the right color? It's weird. These bokoblins are gonna kill me. Just all the color variation in them is that's a weak spot for my process, I'll admit it. Select the color, tab in a little extra blue. Trying to hit only where the light would catch and coming from behind camera.
Whom do you serve?
Whom do you serve? A little bit of light overall, plus blue. There's a third color on the sky. Third or fourth, let's see here. Is this color different from this one? Not really. No, it's the same. Okay. this the right way, but pretty decent progress. I don't know about this guy. That guy got a weird color, but maybe he sort of was a differently colored bokoblin in the first place. What color are you? Here we go. This guy's like on the edge, so I'm not going to get too precious with him. I don't know if anybody's still listening, but today I went to it was kind of a cool experience. We went to my wife's friend found this place, and it's in LA. It's what's it called? EcoStar, something like that. It was essentially a petting zoo. Not an emphasis on the petting. Not really an emphasis on the zoo. It was like a rescue of animals that had been trafficked or otherwise mistreated, but also exotic. And definitely in need of special caretaking. Like, not like, oh, this dog, I mean, dogs get abused and deserve care. Yes, they do. But they can be more or less housed in like, you can rehome them in a normal person's quarters. Someone who has a albino African pygmy hedgehog that was trafficked into the United States but escaped, and the Fish and Game Department of the government that recovered it and doesn't know how to care for it. Like, where does that go? And this is that place. This is like in LA where things like that happen. They have a place, and it was this place, and it was a fun experience where it's not like I never handled a snake before or anything like that, but among the snakes that, were handleable, there were many that were not, and one was like a giant freaking python that, just decided it was going to leave someone's apartment one day, and then it's like, obviously, no animal shelter can take that on. They had a funny exhibit of there was a bobcat. Basically what happened was a lady who was the story that they told was one day one lady was like jogging around at somewhere in LA or nearby, and heard a meowing sound, and then searched into the woods, and then found a little baby bobcat, not knowing that like bobcat families will say, okay, you stay here, I'm gonna go hunt something, and then like come back and get them. The lady found the little baby bobcat and thought it was a kitten, and took it home and raised it as a cat for about 2.5 years, until it became like 35 pounds and way too, like, being raised in an apartment of all things, and it was fine. Like, the cat was fine, except it was too big. And at one point, the lady took it into the vet. And the vet was like, "This is not a cat. You've got a bobcat. You have to not be raising this as a cat. This is not a cat." So she brought it in voluntarily to be surrendered, and that's all good. But it was funny, like, because this bobcat had become so used to the kitty cat lifestyle that they had to adorn her enclosure with carpet, of all things. And she's like living this sweet life, eating turkey meatballs and stuff like that from Trader Joe's.
No parent should have to bury their child.
But yeah, they can't be fit neither for a normal home nor the wild, so they have to live at this place. They were fun. Every animal had their own little story, and their name was more or less conceived from their story. So there was like a Komodo dragon that was found wandering outside of a 7-Eleven. So it was named Slurpee. And then there was one lizard that was named Bitey. And not surprising, but they didn't take that one out for us to pet. There were only a few things where we were allowed to pet or feed them. In the end, though, it was all very educational. I felt like I'd learned. Not that I didn't know I shouldn't pollute the beach or all the obvious stuff, but had a good time. And I think the best part was my kids were super into it. Fed I don't remember what those fish were called. Yeah, it's midnight here too. Everybody go to bed. I'm gonna stop in 2 seconds. I'm like literally almost done. We hit the goal, which was basically get this little section done. So good night if anybody's listening. Let's see here. It's just this last little bit right here. This little footpath on this bridge that's falling apart. Color that. And there it is. Yeah, I'm finishing up right now. All right, saving this. Yes, save, and then as I like to do it, this is the cringy part of the stream. It's got so far to go. I'll take the praise how it comes, but it's fun to well, if I do this right, it'll look even better when we're done. All right. I do this for my YouTube thumbnails where I sort of make it half me and half the thing, and I go, you know. It's to be little fish face to honor the little fishes that my children fed today. All right, so that's cool. All right, so anybody listening, I know it's late. Go back to sleep and catch me next time. It might be tomorrow morning. We'll see. All right. Until next time. Adios. Good night.